now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Retail Design Institute's 51st Annual International Design Awards. Let's have a warm welcome for our hosts, Cynthia Ortiz and Ray Escheid.
Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome in person. Finally. How great is this to be back in person and simulcasting virtually so that our chapters can have watch parties all across the world. How wonderful.
I think it's an amazing experience. So great to see all of you here tonight in the Triad Theater in New York, and also, as Cynthia said, around the globe at watch parties everywhere. So why don't we go ahead and let's get started.
All right. Well, first I'd like to say good evening to those here in New York and good afternoon to some watching in other parts of the world or the West Coast. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to our 51st International Design Competition live and in person from the Triad Theater in New York City. We are thrilled to have you here with us, whether in person or live streaming from a watch party or the comfort of your own home and couch. I am Cynthia Ortiz. I am the International President of the Retail Design Institute. And here with me tonight is Ray Escheid, who is the International Chairman. Ray?
Thank you so much, Cynthia.
Some things we're keeping from last year.
We are super excited that we can once again gather in person here in New York and in watch parties everywhere around the world to celebrate retail design as visualized through the stunning designs that you are going to see tonight from submitted projects, quite frankly, in multiple countries.
Yeah, Ray, let's remind everyone that all of the stores showcased this evening opened between January and December of 2021. And as always, I am absolutely amazed by the creativity, dynamism, and adaptability of these showcased brands and experiences and how they tell their stories.
As am I, Cynthia. And to let everyone out there know what to expect tonight, Cynthia and I are going to highlight 19 of these projects as members of the Retail Design Institute class of 2021. These stores represent the best in class across the world, along with 9 innovation awards and the highly anticipated Store of the Year. There you go.
Yeah, and Ray, let's take a minute to recognize all the Institute members, associates, and friends that are gathered in viewing parties across the country and around the world tonight. And if this is your first time joining us, let me share with you that the Retail Design Institute remains the preeminent peer-focused organization promoting the advancement and practice of creating selling environments. Our work with educational partners continues to assist with the development of retail design programs through both architecture and design schools. We also continue focusing on continuing education courses to improve the skill sets of our working professionals. We engage in our local chapters through tours, workshops, and seminars to highlight new and noteworthy trends, and we share those with the retail design community at large to celebrate accomplishments in retail and retail store design.
So joining the Retail Design Institute brings you together with like-minded industry professionals from the retail world and the amazing people who create the experiences like those you are about to see. If you are not yet a member of the Retail Design Institute, and Cynthia and I can't actually see you, but we're assuming that if you'd like to, make sure you connect with one of your local chapter leaders, either out there in the internet or here tonight, or visit retaildesigninstitute.org and sign up today.
All right, Ray, just a bit more housekeeping and then we can dive in. Let's talk a little about the competition itself.
I think we should.
Yeah. The Retail Design Institute International Design Competition remains the oldest competition for retail design. Our competition prides itself on taking an unusual tactic. Although entries are solicited across numerous categories, we choose not to limit ourselves to a single winner, but rather ensure that we can also award stores that may far excel in design in the same category to bring them forward to the ultimate competition for Store of the Year. We call this grouping a class. And so in this year's class of 2021, we are noting 19 exciting projects. Our judges can also award a project an innovation award, which may be granted for excellence in categories like store planning, circulation dynamics, lighting design, creative materials usage, or decor. Year after year, entries come from teams around the world, and winners will share represented powerful achievements in categories as far-reaching as pop-up stores and spas.
I mean, Cynthia, that does sound incredibly intriguing.
Yes, it is, Ray. But before we get started, I'd like to take a minute to recognize our judges. They looked at tons of entries and spent many, many hours virtually debating over these stores to come up with this list of winning projects tonight.
So they sure did, Cynthia. And quite frankly, our judging panel consists, of course, of professional members from across the Retail Design Institute and represent many of our chapters. The judges first scored the entries across 10 major attributes to narrow the field, and then dove in to finalize the list we're going to be announcing this evening, along with our innovation awards. So remember, the Retail Design Institute is a nonprofit organization, and so therefore these judges did the work on their own time, and we at the Institute truly appreciate the work that they put in to make sure that we had this event tonight. So this year, our judges on the screen are, from our Twin Cities chapter, Jeremiah Albrecht; from our SoCal chapter, James Farnell; from Brazil, George Homer Jr.; from Ohio, Jim Kelly; from here in New York, Tobias Harris; from Canada, Marty Nafaji. Najafi. Damn it. Damn it. I'm sorry, Marty. I'm sorry, Marty. And from our New England chapter, Tracy Zaslow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of our judges tonight. So, Cynthia, I noticed this year our awards truly represent the international nature of the Retail Design Institute, with awards spanning the globe, from Brazil to Europe, Asia, and of course, there might be a few here in North America, including 6 here in New York City. Hello. And another 3 across Canada.
Yes, and we are so proud to represent great retail design from all across the globe. We are also very excited to be sharing tonight some new members to our Legion of Honor. The Legion of Honor represents the Institute's ultimate recognition for a lifetime of contributions to improving and expanding the practice of retail design. And we will be sharing 2 awards tonight for incredible contributors to the Institute as members of the year.
So I love that we are able to not only celebrate amazing design, but quite frankly, the people that are responsible for bringing it to life.
All right, Ray, are you ready to get the show started?
With all this paper? Absolutely.
Again, this year we've grouped winners alongside of similar archetypes to allow you all to see how each winner stacks up. Sometimes there may be single stores and others might be in larger groups, but every store you will see is in competition for the grand award of Store of the Year. Even though some of our winners may be here in person in our live audience this year, we will be handing out the Crystal Awards at the end of the ceremony. However, if you are an honoree for the Legion of Honor or Store of the Year,
Or a member of the year.
or Member of the Year, we ask you to please come up on stage to accept your awards. Just be careful you don't trip on the card stop.
Exactly.
And because this is a virtual hybrid, we'll call it hybrid
Yeah.
event. So we're in person as well as the watch parties across the world. This year we have shipped awards to a few of our watch parties so that they may be awarded in person as well.
So we're going to start off our awards this year actually with Member of the Year recognition. Now, our first honoree this evening, let's start with this individual. This individual is a tireless supporter of the Retail Design Institute and was not only one of my most dependable board members when I was president of the New York City chapter, but is also an incredibly dynamic part of several other retail, phones. Can we silence our phones? Just kidding. Several other retail design-focused organizations across the city. She is not only a person who is so willing to give of her time, but is such a partner to teams whose work she supports professionally that, quite frankly, she's someone you can always rely on. In fact, without fail, she's the person who's going to text you back when you've texted her at 3 a.m. She's going to tell you the best bar to go to in the city. She's going to offer you seats at the best restaurants. And she's got an Instagram feed that you do not want to miss. The Retail Design Institute this year recognizes our Trade Member of the Year as Lena Lim of our New York City chapter.
Lena, please come up on stage to accept your award.
Woo! Wait. Listen, I want in on that.
Thank you.
We are
Oh my
so
God.
delighted, Lena.
This is amazing. Thank you guys.
And
Thank
so
you.
very well deserved.
I love you guys. I love this industry. Thank you. Yay.
Thank you.
And if you couldn't hear, she said, I love you guys and I love this industry. So before we go on, I would like to take 1 minute to recognize our sponsors for the evening. Little Diversified Architectural Consulting is our gold sponsor for the evening. Woo! Woohoo, Little! Our silver sponsors, BHDP and Caden Photography.
Woo!
Bronze sponsors, IA Interior Architects. Of course, we have our international sponsors that sponsor the Institute internationally throughout the year. Planet Construction and TMS Lighting. And we would not be here at all and hosting this hybrid event without Media Place. So we want to give a big thank you to Media Place
And the entire
For-
team.
being here and helping us and making sure this goes through very
Thank you
smoothly.
so much to all of our sponsors. All right, Cynthia, now it's your turn. Let's talk about our next honoree for Member of the Year. Are you in the right card?
No, oh, yes, I am. Sorry. I might have tossed the first one. But anyway.
Do you want me to go
so,
on?
So you start and I'll finish. How's that?
Actually, I'll give you
Oh,
the
give me
card.
my card. Oh, there we go. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. All right. Now, our next honoree goes to someone who has been instrumental in the growth of the Twin Cities chapter. This individual first volunteering to be on the Twin Cities board and then stepping up to take over all chapter events for the team. She has been instrumental in setting up diverse retail experiences for their members, from store openings to food hall experiences to department store settings. She's done it all. The incredible positive feedback we've received from chapter members, along with growth related to these events, have made her efforts highly noticeable. In other words, she's a rock star. And it is my pleasure to recognize Heidi Waller of the Twin Cities chapter as Professional Member of the Year.
Congratulations, Heidi.
And somewhere at the Twin Cities watch party, Heidi is accepting her award right now.
Congratulations.
Now, let's get on to the design awards. Are you ready, Ray?
I am so ready to get on to the design awards. So now, this evening, our first grouping is going to celebrate excellence in pop-up store design. And both honorees happen to have been created here in New York City. So first, we're going to take a look at an amazing temporary space from Todd Snyder, designed by AEO out of Pittsburgh. And then we're going to turn our attention to Bergmeyer's design for a 108-year-old sporting brand, Wilson.
For this 1,600 square foot Todd Snyder holiday pop-up at Rockefeller Center, the in-house team's goal was to design a freestanding modular fixturing structure that could be installed quickly. They wanted the temporary space to serve as a fully functioning store before completing a permanent Todd Snyder store in New York City. Conceived as a ship-in-a-bottle, the three-dimensional structure incorporated branding and custom visual merchandising elements that took inspiration from the colors and patterns of the latest Todd Snyder menswear collections. The design used a minimum number of parts to keep the structure open and flexible. Large environmental graphics installed in unconventional and playful ways complete the design. The judges appreciated the fixture system's simplicity and that it was designed to be reused. This project receives an Innovation Award for fixturing. This 4,600 square foot pop-up in New York City focuses on celebrating Wilson's 100-year brand history and as a tie-in to the 2021 U.S. Open. Wilson hoped to capture the energy and excitement of that marquee event. The Bergmeyer team worked with the Wilson creative team to create a distinctive experience, part museum, part lab, part lounge, and part retail store. The installation focuses on celebrating Wilson's history and evolution in the sport of tennis through storytelling and immersive interactions, designed to be a journey that shows the brand as the embodiment of this storied sport. Graphics, memorabilia, merchandising, the ballroom experience, and a customization zone all allow customers to engage with the Wilson brand in ways they never had before. Judges called the Wilson pop-up super cool, adding branding, visual merchandising, and bold color accents create an engaging gallery experience for customers. This project receives an Innovation Award for concept design and a second Innovation Award for brand expression.
What's amazing to me is that both of these locations and projects are so closely tied to what they represent, and both celebrate contemporary design in a sharply focused way. In case you didn't hear it, the Todd Snyder project also takes home an Innovation Award for store fixturing, and Wilson's U.S. Open specific space was also awarded an Innovation Award for concept design and also for brand expression.
Now let's take a dive into two projects in a classification that has become more and more exciting as the residential real estate market grows within the greater city of Toronto. These showroom or product selection spaces have to create brands for their respective residential towers while enabling clients to actually select the elements that will be used to build them. Let's see both Figure 3's Grand Central Mimico and Madison Decor Studio from DK Design Studio.
Mimico is a master-planned community in Greater Toronto spanning 4 city blocks and anchored by residential space, including high-rise towers. The Buckingham Tower needed a presentation center for potential homeowners. The Figure 3 team took an existing industrial space with just over 4,000 square feet, using retail design concepts to present potential homeowners with surfacing, appliance, and fixture options. The customer journey is laid out like a promenade of shops where potential buyers can engage and interact various touch points. A series of vignettes offer a relaxed, shopping-like experience to educate, inspire, and drive condo sales. Designed to evolve over time, the vignettes can be updated to incorporate new signage, themes, and finishes with each phase of the development. The judges found the series of vignettes effective in creating a compelling customer journey. Madison Decor Studio is a 3,300 square foot design center in North York devoted to the Nobu residences in Toronto, a multi-phase, multi-structure project. The DK Design Studio team was asked to elevate the often mundane process of choosing materials and finishes for condo homeowners in the Madison low-rise residential building. Homeowners are greeted at the reception area that leads to a bar lounge reminiscent of VIP lounges in high-end fashion boutiques. The lounge houses a bar on one side and a large display wall of sample finishes on the other. Premium sample packages mounted on sliding tracks can be mixed and matched to intrigue the clients while they sit on a designer sofa sipping drinks. High-gloss materials are carefully balanced with the contrasting epoxy concrete floor to create a luxurious look while still reminiscent of a design studio. Judges thought the minimalist design and materiality delivered on the concept goal to evoke a luxury fashion house.
So Cynthia, what I really pick up on there is, again, what the judges talked about, how each of these spaces is both radically different, yet showcases their ideas and concepts so well. Thinking about the concept of moving from a luxury fashion environment for selecting your materials to something where vignettes actually accomplish this sort of journey through a space. Really dynamic environments that tell an incredible brand story.
Absolutely, Ray.
All right. So now, let's turn our attention to our next awarded project in a category which is a bit dear to my heart, and that is retail banking. Many of you were part of an event recently here in New York where the design team gave a detailed overview of the project we experienced, and we got to really see it firsthand, some of the key elements of what it was. But for the rest of you, let's go ahead and take a walk through Gensler's design for the Citibank flagship here in New York City.
Citibank turned to Gensler to help design a flagship branch on the ground floor of its global headquarters in New York City. The team created a 7,000 square foot space that can physically transform to support activities ranging from the most public to the most private. Bankers and clients can hold one-to-one conversations in a lounge area, at a service bar, or in a consultation room. The space can seamlessly shift from business to event venue and neighborhood co-working space thanks to sliding screens and pivot doors. The agile interior design supports client and employee well-being with movable tabletops that slide over seating to foster social distancing. Materials, millwork, and furniture add warmth, while linear lighting unifies the space. Judges found this project to be a beautiful retail experience with classic design and elegance. This project receives an Innovation Award for Architecture.
Ray, I have to say, I am continuously amazed by how banking is evolving. And the space at Citi is so adaptable. I mean, we had a party in a bank. A literal party in a bank, like just a week, 2 weeks ago, I think. Personally, I love the architectural celebration in that space, and the judges also recognize that in an Innovation Award.
All right, Cynthia, so what's our next grouping?
Well, this next grouping aligns with specialty retail, but we call them brand spaces, as they truly go beyond enveloping their customers within their ethos. Let's check out these next 4 winners.
For its second Johnny Walker shop, the whiskey brand turned to Diesel and Powell to create a 3,500 square foot emporium in the heart of Edinburgh. Located in a former department store, the team designed an experience to encourage visitors to explore the brand, its products, and stories. A showcase wall features the range of Johnny Walker labels. And as visitors approach, motion sensors trigger the audio content describing the flavors that make each blend unique. Through visual theater, storytelling, and experiential moments, the Johnny Walker retail experience invites visitors to discover the single malts of Scotland in the Whiskey Explorer Library. A changing collection of local and exclusive home accessories and bar tools are part of the lifestyle boutique. Judges were impressed by the clean and easy-to-navigate space with its great balance of merchandise displays and interactive elements. The Landor and Fitch team was on board to help M&M's make its debut in continental Europe. For the 29,000 square foot store located in Berlin, the team created unique design elements dedicated to Berlin's cultural and artistic roots. From a graffiti wall inspired by the Berlin Wall that provides the perfect photo op, and karaoke garden, a photo moment that taps into Berlin's karaoke culture. One of the city's most famous M-Bahn train cars appears to be coming out of the wall in a setting of a local subway station, complete with a train stop ticker and M&M's own version of Berlin's Brandenburg Gate on the window. This location includes the first ever M&M's Cafe, where customers can mix and match their favorite M&M colors and flavors in ice cream, and it's then dipped and shaped like a giant M&M. Judges cited the energetic project's skillful use of color and unique circulation plan. Added one juror, "I could see kids of any age loving this space and getting excited." Global sports brand Puma decided to return to the running shoe market in early 2021. The brand launched Nitro, a new line of highly technical core running shoes. To mark the product launch in its New York City flagship, Puma enlisted EWI Worldwide to create a combination of physical and digital experiences over 2 floors in a combined space of 725 square feet. A multi-dimensional Nitro landing zone at the store's entrance draws customers from the street. The landing zone features large, angled LED panels and animated arrows and text, creating a sense of dynamism and motion in line with the Nitro product offering. An interactive run challenge video game allows customers to compete against one another by running in place as fast as possible for 60 seconds. A large display counts steps and showcases Nitro technology, while audio prompts offered words of encouragement to players. Upstairs, the running zone allows customers to dive deep into the Nitro experience, from a wall highlighting different Nitro silhouettes to an integrated digital monitor allowing customers to easily learn more. Judges cited branding, visual merchandising points, and fixturing as a star in this customer experience packed into 2 small spaces. Drawing inspiration from the NHL brand, logo, and core values of the game of hockey, the TPG architecture design team created a clean, modern environment for its new 11,000 square foot flagship in New York City. In a collaborative effort with the NHL, Fanatics, and Lids, the design team created an innovative world-class retail experience. The new flagship store serves as a pilgrimage site for hockey fans everywhere to support and connect with their favorite team. Thanks to its proximity to Madison Square Garden, the flagship can host players and serve as a hangout spot for fans before and after games. The store's curved exterior echoes the shape of a hockey rink and the movement of players skating on ice. A series of 28 high-definition video walls running live game broadcasts, original NHL productions, and real-time content from NHL social media accounts connects fans to the brand as they shop. The judges were wowed by the material used to reference ice. Adding the ceiling element is a showstopper.
So, Cynthia, I can absolutely see what you mean, because each of those spaces, quite frankly, is a showstopper. Whether we're going to be running on a stage or we're going to be drinking perhaps a little bit, each one really represents their brand in a powerful new way. We want to make sure that we recognize Diesel and Powell for Johnny Walker, Landor and Fitch for M&M's, EWI Worldwide for Puma, and TPG Architecture for NHL. Extraordinary work.
Absolutely. We also recently held an event at the NHL store. So
There seems to be a theme here.
there does. Now, Ray, we've covered some great ground, but let's take pause to turn the stage over to Ken Nish. Ken is a past recipient of our Legion of Honor, and he's recently taken on the responsibility of chairing our Legion of Honor committee. So Ken takes over this honor from Charles Sparks, who we thank so much for all of his hard work and dedication throughout the years for the Retail Design Institute. So thank you, Charles, for everything that you've done for us.
Absolutely.
And now Ken is going to share with all of us the newest members of our most important grouping within the Retail Design Institute. It is my pleasure to announce Ken Nish.
Ken.
Great, Cynthia, thank you so much for the welcome. And let me add also thank you to Charles Sparks for not only being one of the founding members of the Legion of Honor, but also giving such care and effort over the last years since I think 2001 is when the award was actually generated. So for those who don't know the background, I'm going to cheat and read from my cards. Luminaries such as Raymond Loewy, Ken Walker, Barbara Darcy, Alton Doody, Ali Shute, Kevin Roche have all been past members. And this year we have two great candidates who will add to that August group of past winners. And I'm very pleased to be part of that award ceremony. I am the chairman of the nominating committee. There are two incognito blind members who are past recipients. And the three of us make up the team that review the portfolios that are received and reviewed. Just some background, the award really is based on a comprehensive body of work that's been created over the 25 minimum years of professional practice that are part of the award. The reward requires leadership in not only in design and creativity, but also in organization, brand, and working with retailers across all elements of retail, whether it be architecture, graphics, digital, so basically everything that creates a retail experience. The thoughtfulness and thought leadership is part of the criteria. So a history of speaking, writing, publishing, and being really a generous mentor, not only with the industry, but also with educational elements of the industry and working with those groups and actually making the industry better. And then lastly, just really having the professionalism and the character to represent the industry well. So I think our candidates tonight check all those boxes and more. So how do you do this?
Yeah, you got it, Ken. You got it.
Thank you. I've been watching. It's like being up at Times Square the morning after up here. So
That's right.
Yes. So we have two candidates. Both these happen to be both gentlemen that I know well for very many years, and I can't be happier to be part of awarding these this recognition. It's interesting. Both candidates work within large architectural multi-practice organizations, and as we know, we always fight for our seat at the table in design and architecture, and they both, I think, have represented us well and been very successful in really building very successful retail-focused practices within their larger groups. And I give them much credit for that. It's not an easy task. So our first candidate to be awarded the Legion of Honor is Andrew McQuilkin. And Andrew, I know you're here somewhere, smiling, I hope. Andrew is a second-generation member of our profession. His father did not talk about it sounds like. Shame on him. But nonetheless, Andrew learned this profession probably at the kitchen table at night, I'm sure, listening to all the stories of the crazy people we all deal with. Andrew has graduated from Parsons, and he worked with groups such as Walker Group, Fitzpatrick, Gensler, FRCH, and is the VP Managing Creative Director, and since 2009 is a partner overseeing all the creative activities within BHD&P out of Cincinnati. And both of our candidates have really taken what they've learned from this very customer-focused thing that we do and helped their businesses apply it to their other practices, whether it be education, medical, residential, hospitality. And I think it's a credit to both of them that they've really taken those learnings and applied them to really a broader part of architecture. Andrew was a fellow with RDI in 2012, a luminary in 2010, and an influencer multiple times with DDI. And the best part, and this really makes me a little nostalgic, he was awarded 30 under 30 by DDI. Remember when you were 30 under 30? That was a good time.
Just last year, Ken.
Just last year, right, yeah, that would be great. And some of the projects that in this portfolio that I think really stood out are work with Macy's, Hudson Bay, Bloomingdale's, Dick's, Aveda in Tokyo, Roche Brothers, Latte in Korea, Saks, and according to Andrew, his favorite, which was Toys R Us Times Square, which certainly redefined the whole idea of what entertainment retail was all about. I'm getting to the end here, Andrew. Hang on. So Andrew has been very involved with RDI at a time as it evolved from ISP to RDI, and really rethinking the organization and really helping the organization be prepared for this next generation and this next century of retail design. And we know that the retail industry has really evolved much over the last 10, 15 years, even more so in the last few years. And Andrew really had the vision and the dedication and the wisdom to help shepherd this organization and bring it to this point in time. So I congratulate him for that as well. Andrew was active with students, including at the University of Cincinnati, Miami University, and with SCAD. And it's my pleasure to invite Andrew up to receive his beautiful Medal of Honor here. And Cynthia's going to assist me here in presenting it to Andrew with our congratulations. And short people never are supposed to do this, but I'm going to try to do it. To get Andrew to bow, now that's a congratulations.
He has been knighted.
Yeah. We don't have a sword to do this.
right.
So Andrew, would you like to say a few words?
So I was told I have about 5 minutes, so bear with me. It would be shorter than what Ken just did, so. All right. So I had to write it down. Usually I'm on this stage giving out awards for over the years. I impromptu most of it, but this one I had to write down. All right, so bear with me. Firstly, I want to thank the Legion of Honor Committee for this lifetime achievement and recognition. I've stood on this stage in the past, helping recognize projects, design teams, and icons in our industry. As store planners and designers, we are risk takers, but we are also our worst critics and filled with self-doubt. So I never thought I would be inducted into the Legion of Honor. Initially, when preparing for this speech, or this acceptance speech, I thought to share with you, maybe my passion for the retail industry. I think many people know how passionate I am about it. Why retail design chose me, or maybe a one-word insight from the past 40 years of being in this industry. So in short, to that end, we get to continuously improve, evolve, reinvent, and innovate in retail design. Secondly, I carry on the legacy of my father, Patrick McQuilkin, who was a retail architect. And in a word, collaboration. We are in one of the most collaborative creative industries. It takes hundreds of people to do a store. Merchants, architects, designers, fashion designers, buyers, planners, graphic designers, lighting designers, visual merchandising, CMs, PMs, contractors, fabricators, mill workers. I could go on. If every store were a movie, the closing credits would scroll forever. So instead of stories or an insight, I wish to skip to the end, giving recognition and credit to my mentors and peers, those who have shared their knowledge and wisdom. Note some of these have passed us on and moved on, but their legacy is in me for some of the things that they taught me. So firstly, Jay Fitzpatrick. All right, he taught me how to find the big idea. He also taught me that it's really important to have a network because, you know, retail sometimes has some hard times. Ed Sierra, he taught me how to draw his bullet people, which I still use today. He also taught me to build models when we have clients that can't read renderings, right? You know what I'm talking about? Susan Long, she taught me how to design to the room by connecting the plan and the RCP with the elevation. She also, not directly, but taught me to never use her short-term Ralphie baby on a plan that's going in front of Ralph Lauren. That was a day. Stephen Durwood, back up your ideas with research and travel the world for inspiration. Jim Lazari, he taught me we just don't hire people to get the work done, we raise families. Barbara Darcy, keep your expectations and explanations simple. Less is more in retail design, the merchandise is the hero. Colette Ventrone, the importance of merchant sign-offs, very systematic, okay? And only she can get away with marking up your originals with a big fat green Sharpie. Some people will get that. Kate Crimer, all right, bear with me. Cosmetic square footage divided by 17 equals linear feet of showcase. Very important. She also taught me that merchandise is architecture. Lisa Benson, if your life is in chaos, then work can be a safe haven. Very good wisdom. Steve Gardner, always ask what's best for the team. Stephen Berquist, details matter. He also taught me that you have to lay out his color boards with a 1/2-inch wooden stick. Everybody from Macy's gets that. Andrew Brzezina, how to navigate retailer politics, and we align very well. It all begins with the plan. My late friend, Claudia Cerchiera, she helped me identify my blind spots, and she taught me that we are all redeemable. Wyatt Neal, design develop. In fact, my first design development project with him was to design develop the Burdines palm tree. That's a long time ago. Enrique Montavo, he taught me my love for Prismacolors. He also taught me never make fun of his mother. Richard Hamari, bang for the buck. He also taught me that retail is also a real estate business. Very important in his world. And Louise Kearns, he taught me all about graphics and retail, and that retail friendships endure. Paul Leckleiter, he taught me a better way to pitch, and he taught me to trust my sketching ability. The late Randy Ridless, high-end design starts with a palette of materials. He also taught me what hangry looks like, so bring snacks. Russell Sway helped me lead the Institute, and he taught me the importance of giving back. The late Charles Arado, he taught me you better coordinate your CDs early. Our friends, our work friends, are our friends. Jen Tribby taught me sustainability and that you can pick your mentors. Glenn Campbell, I'm going way back. How much I miss the days of office banter. Don't we all? Christian Davies, he taught me design thinking and to champion a point of view. Heather Steiner, graphic designers are great storytellers, and that you can hire your friends. Steve McGowan, he taught me design storytelling, and designing should be inspiring, like the practice of designing. Peter Borowski, he taught me graphic hierarchy, and that the C word is very common in England. He's British. All right. Mike Cable, my chairman, how to sell in ideas and services and the power of a strategic vision. Rob Soretti, don't just complain, be the solution. He's the reason I joined the Institute. Okay. Bob Carrillo, going way back, he taught me how to hand letter like Bob Carrillo. He gave me a ledger on the first day, yellow pad. He wrote the alphabet. I had to fill it up by the next day. That taught me. My father, my late father, Patrick McQuilkin, he taught me that retail design is a career choice. And he taught me how to do service leadership by serving others. My wife, Denise McQuilkin, she taught me patience and that it's always a work in progress. True love is real. And my children, Brandon and Tristan, obviously they have my unconditional love, and our kids are our legacy. So I want to thank the Retail Design Institute for continuing to recognize the great design in our industry and providing this platform for the Legion of Honor. And a special call out to Janet Graber. Thank you, Janet. Thank you.
Well done, Andrew. Thank you. Some words to live by. Our second candidate, Bruce Bartel, is a colleague who I've actually got to know better over the last few years, working on the Board of Shop. So while I knew him as an architect, as a competitor, I have to say I didn't really know him as a person. So it's been a great pleasure to get to know him and learn more about him and this award to be presented. So Bruce has spent 30 years with Little Diversified through a variety of roles, from general architecture to specific areas of practice to really creating the retail practice within the business, and then growing in 1995 when they created that, and really growing that into a major part of the company's business, and then ultimately moving into practice leader relative to innovation and design, and taking all those learnings and applying them across the broad area of practice within the company. And I think, again, it's a great thing about our industry is that, we really understand people, and then we can apply that understanding to many areas of practice. So sometimes I think we undervalue that, and I can't believe that is what I mean.
Ken, really? It's you? It's you.
It's client. It's client.
No, I'm sure it's somebody trying to sell me something, but that's another story. So I think Bruce really exemplifies, I think, many elements that the Legion of Honor about being a right brain and a left brain creative. Because not only understanding our client's business, but we are in the business of design, and balancing that with all the serendipity and imagination and originality that is expected about the other half of our brain, and really bringing those two things together at the same time, which is a little bit of a miracle, I think. His work from retail, restaurants, offices, and hospitality really reflect, I think, an intellectual curiosity that is really part of what is really a prerequisite for the Legion of Honor, because it has to be not an award for people who just get to a place, but people who keep seeking to be in a place. And Bruce, in his portfolio, really titled it "So Far" as the cover, which I think is a great statement. He's been active with the shop board during a particularly challenging time as the industry changed, the important source of funding, which was a retail show, and really such a shift in the supplier network. And he's really shepherded this industry, or this group, into a new place, in a positive place, and really preparing to hand that over to a next generation. Thank you. To really take that, the very good work that he's done, and really making sure that the industry is well represented across all aspects of the industry. He has been recognized as a luminary, and has really a long litany of design awards for his work across restaurants, hospitality, And one of my favorites is a pop-up park, which is just a place in your imagination. Examples of some of the companies he's worked with include Home Depot, Harris Teeter, Magnolia, the Biltmore, Shinola, and again, as I mentioned, the pop-up park.
Oh,
did I miss one?
Ralph
Excuse
Lauren.
me.
Hello.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Francis.
Any other call-outs?
One of Bruce's longtime clients in the audience here.
Yes, thank you. And so, without much more ado, Bruce, please come up and receive your award.
I do my Mark Spitz here.
Yeah. Thank God you're dressed more appropriately, but that's
Elevate up, buddy. Thank you. You know, as I looked out at the crowd, I noticed that I might be the only guy here that has a tie on. Oh, wait. Well, you know, why don't you take it off? Let's go casual, right?
There you go.
Loosen it up.
So, as Ken said, I didn't get started in retail. But before I get into that, thank you. He talked so much about me, I'd like to spend my time talking about him. What a gentleman. He's been on our board for a couple of years, and through that challenging time he was referring to, it has been difficult. But with people like Ken, people of character, with persistence to ask challenging questions and give us good feedback, it's been a heck of a lot easier. So not only for the nomination and the award, but recognition, thank you for being a friend.
It's your night.
Well, you know, that's what I do. You know, give other people credit. So I didn't bring any paper up, so I might have to do this once in a while.
You can throw the phone. That's fine.
You just took away my punchline. So I did get started in retail. I spent about 15 years doing just so many different things. Office buildings, hospital buildings, a lot of houses. Once in a while, I had a chance to do some retail. I was the head of design for Little in a very formative part of its history. And so we were doing 5 buildings a week. I mean, it was that intense per person. It was nuts. So when I did get a chance to do an occasional restaurant or shopping center, I approached it like many of my peers at the time would approach it, which was an architectural problem, right? That's what we were taught in school, architecture. And I must say that people that I was running around with at that time thought of retail design with a lowercase a. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. So I want to tell a few stories about surprise and delight. And not just the surprise and delight of this recognition, but the surprise and delight. I didn't get into retail because I was fascinated by it, admittedly. What I found out that several members of our retail group at the time were really down and out. They were complaining about it being too commoditized and too much about deadlines and fees. And I was really, quite frankly, so moved by their emotions. I knew that it could and it should be better. You know, that's that time when you see something, you go, that's not right. And so I was talking to my wife. I was like, I think I'm going to go after the job to sort of run that group. And I didn't really know that much about retail. I had done some restaurants. I'd actually started the restaurant studio, but that's another story. So I ran after the job, and I got it. And I was a neophyte. I had a table full of older guys and ladies that knew a lot more than me, and I really had to put on what I call the white belt. And I showed up at Global Shop, and our reputation was nil. We didn't have a good reputation. We didn't have a reputation at all. Nobody even knew who we were. And I was determined to make that group something that the people that worked for us would be proud to belong to that practice. Because to see somebody in tears over not liking their job is like pathetic. I don't want to be the boss behind that. And so, to my surprise and delight, though, and I didn't expect this, I found retail design to be actually really creative, much more creative than what I expected. The degree of complexity, the understanding of brand and purpose, and understanding human emotion, what drives behavior. And then to be able to collaborate with this constellation of professionals, whether it be graphics or brand consulting, merchandisers, this School of Athens if you remember the Raphael painting, where all these great minds can come together and collaborate to create something great. I didn't expect that. I was really shocked that, ironically, those same arrogant architects that were saying retail design was architecture with a lowercase a, to me, and being converted to one that believed that, no, this actually is perhaps the most creative group that I've ever worked with. And thanks to the team that we have back at Little for that. To be delighted to be able to find that also it caused me to be challenged to find the most creative part of myself, because I had to rise to be their leader. I had to learn from them and to find deeper within me a source of creativity that I really didn't know was there. And so the irony of architecture with a lowercase a was not lost on me. In fact, if anything, what I do now is I try to take what I've learned from the retail industry and apply it to those other practices that don't get what brand means to creating a customer experience, or what is a customer experience for a student, right? You ever think about a student experience at a school, especially in this life, where student experience can be quite horrific? But be able to translate that to new paths of learning. So I've done this for about 25 years in the retail role, and boy, it's really flown by quite fast. And but once again, to my surprise and delight, the achievement didn't matter to me as much as the people. Not only the colleagues that I work with at Little, but you, the people in the industry, some new friends, some very old friends, that I hope will last for the balance of my life. It's the relationships that we create, the relationships that tie us together, our common ground. We need more of that in this world. And so that really has been the delight of that 25-year run, has been what we've done together. Okay, so as I consider these past 40 years in architecture, and I had the opportunity to not only lead my company, but also be a leader in the industry for the larger good. It fills me with a greater sense of gratitude. And as I'm sure you all know, that eventually changes your attitude. And so to your surprise and delight, I'll end on that platitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Congratulations. Thank you very much, and thanks the Institute and as being the host for this recognition. I would like to make a quick commercial, though, is we should be start thinking about next year's nominees. And if you have great candidates and unique candidates, please talk them into submitting and bringing their portfolio to the table. We'd love to think about next year and what great folks can be recognized for their lifetime achievement. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken, so much. And congratulations are heartfelt for me, for Andrew. Again, Andrew has been so influential in the Retail Design Institute over the years. We thank you for your dedication and service. Bruce, you already know, for many years, I have considered Bruce to be one of my mentors in the industry. So it is great pleasure for me to see him receive this award tonight. So congratulations again to Andrew and to Bruce.
Congratulations. I almost feel like we're doing a little one-up here, because I think Andrew actually was one of my 2 recommendations to become a member of the Retail Design Institute. So thank you for that.
Ah, there you go.
There you go. And Bruce, again, has been an amazing friend for so many years. And again, as we just talked about a second ago, I certainly worked with him in my past life as well. So delighted to be there. So Ken, but we also want to recognize you. Thank you so much for sharing these amazing people and their accomplishments, what they've been doing, and they obviously are a key inspiration for all of us as we think about our careers and how we move forward within retail design. Now, just maybe a quick commercial, though. I don't know if anybody has been taking any pictures here. I certainly know Mr. Caden has. Thank you for your support, as well as being one of our sponsors this evening. But don't forget, you can also Instagram all of those photos this evening.
Instagram,
hashtag
Facebook,
Retail Design Institute.
Twitter.
Let's spread the word. It's a very important thing to do. And Cynthia and I will, of course, be available to be in any of your pictures if you wish.
Selfies. We're all about the
Yeah,
selfie. I don't know if you remember from last year.
We have tens of dozens of followers. All right. So
Okay,
Cynthia,
Ray.
let's move along back to some fun awards.
Yes. You know I love a good selfie.
I
for
do.
sure. But let's get back to the action and check out our next grouping. These stores focus upon wellness, and these three amazing stores shift that conversation and certainly expand it. Let's see what our judges thought about GH&A Design Studios Herbal Goods store and Rituals self-designed House of Rituals Body and Mind Spa and Design Well Spent's Treat at JFK Airport.
Fika Herbal Goods is a 1,600 square foot cannabis store in Toronto's historic Distillery District. The GH&A design team retained the original concrete columns, floor, and brick walls and created an interior that pulls patrons in. Craftsmanship took inspiration from deep woods and earthy tones to create a feeling of comfort and familiarity. 3 centrally located flower bars made of walnut with stone countertops are the heartbeat of the space and allow for personalized service. Cascading magnifying domes display cannabis flower by strain and strength, making it easy to navigate. The judges deemed this a beautiful store, adding, "It's a great take on a dispensary. There are interesting details in every corner." This store receives an Innovation Award for visual merchandising. House of Rituals opened its first mind and body spa, occupying 2,600 square feet on the top floors of its existing Amsterdam location. The body spa open treatment areas are luxurious with the use of stone, natural timbers, lounge chairs, and large plants. Treatment rooms are situated in separate and more private areas. The world's first mind spa, a concept developed for Rituals to broaden the well-being experience, features a variety of treatments intended to induce the deep relaxation of mind, body, and soul. From a design and planning perspective, the in-house Rituals team created an area of simple yet stylish elegance conceived to produce a sense of serenity, rest, and harmony. The judges were united in their appreciation for the use of technology, materials, and creative space plan. One judge commented, "Send me there now." This project receives an Innovation Award for brand activation. In 2020, the pandemic forced Express Spa locations to shut down. The company quickly leveraged its airport connections to open a new concept to provide COVID testing. Launching several locations across the country brought in revenue and piqued the interest of investors. With its newfound medical services expertise, Express Spa Group looked ahead. This led to Treat, a new concept focused on travel, health, and wellness. The first 1,100 square foot location opened in JFK International. Customers can shop for travel essentials, schedule health services like travel anxiety care, or book wellness rooms for yoga, fitness, or meditation. The physical retail experience is connected to the Treat app, where members have access to 24/7 medical care, their health passport, travel, health, wellness resources, and blogs, and an online retail experience. The Design Well Spent team's challenge for developing the new Treat concept was figuring out how to best combine retail space with treatment wellness rooms, all in a very tight space and with scalability in mind. The material palette is layered, textured, and warm with the use of tiles, plaster-look wall coverings, fabrics, and colors like rose beige, brown, and bronze, a beacon of warmth and contrast to the surrounding retail. A menu of services placed front and center lets customers know at a glance what the store is about. Interactive digital screens make check-in easy. Sound, scent, and lighting also play a role in achieving a calming, multi-sensory experience that makes patrons forget they're at the airport. Judges applauded the warm color materials palette and cohesive fixture design as key to creating a customer experience that is both relaxing and healing. This project receives an Innovation Award for Concept Design.
Exactly. You know what, Cynthia, what really strikes me about these stores tonight is how each of them takes categories and experiences and completely reinvents them. Each experience is so dynamic. And if you didn't hear it, that treat store also received an Innovation Award for Concept Design.
It did.
So should we look at another grouping? I think we've got two left, two big groups, and they're also chock full of amazing design.
I think we should, Ray. Let's move on. Our next grouping brings us our first winners tonight from Brazil, along with an innovative idea built a little closer to New York, in Tennessee.
Tennessee. So here's my test tonight, whether or not I can pronounce these things properly. So we must be talking about food, right? So I do love this category. Not only are these spaces innovative, they also make me a bit hungry. So let's take a look at Sjoerd Gerdeman's MAPCO space, which is actually located near Pigeon Forge in Tennessee, and two spaces from Espaco Novo, Emporio Santa Maria and Saint Marche, both in Sao Paulo.
MAPCO's new 4,500 square foot C-store near Pigeon Forge, Tennessee was developed in collaboration with Sjoerd Gerdeman to shake things up, rethink the traditional, and create a fresh experience to meet customer needs. Striving to become convenience you can trust, the new MAPCO is mapped out to solve guests' daily convenience needs. Materials, lighting, and in-store offers combine modern sensibility with comfort. Communicating new branding and identity, the space gives customers a sense of energy and fresh air with a seamless transition that brings the interior and exterior together. Custom murals specific to the community, greenery, and natural materials deliver quality without sacrificing convenience. The location offers guest seating indoors and out, giving shoppers free rein to use MAPCO's space. Judges found the bold architecture, attention to detail, and elevated graphic communication to be a fresh take on C-store retailing. Saint Marche offers nearly 12,000 square feet of specialty food in Sao Paulo. Opened during the pandemic, the Espaco Novo design team worked to create a relaxed space, but one with safety and well-being in mind for returning in-store customers. The store's overall gray palette takes its cue from concrete walls and the ceiling the team left exposed and untreated. Against that backdrop, the team layered on lighting, wayfinding, bold signage, and accents in wood and metal. Thinking of each sensory step of the customer journey, the team started from the moment the customer enters the store and smells freshly baked bread, to visualizing fresh produce, to observing preparation of sushi, bakery, and pizza, until they come across a cozy space with tables to have meals, meet friends, and even hold small meetings. A mural at the entrance of the store, visible through the high-traffic avenue on which the store is located, simultaneously gifts the city and attracts customers. Judges commented on the balance of warm materials and bold use of color against the coolness of the natural concrete. Branding and wayfinding solutions are exceptional, and the lighting implemented feels just right. Emporio Santa Maria is an 11,000 square foot specialty food market in Sao Paulo. The design team at Espaco Novo employed a central axis. The axis acts as a boulevard, allowing visibility to all departments from bakery to butchery. Large signage calling out major departments assists the customer journey. A variety of materials create contrast between different departments, from the luminous marble suggesting freshness in the bakery, charcuterie, cheese, and butchery areas, to the warm dark colors used in the wine cellar, wine bar, and sushi bar. The lighting further contributes to defining each department and store zone. Judges commented that materiality, environmental graphics, wayfinding, and fixturing solutions are stars elevating this retail food environment.
have to say, it is so exciting to see a category that we all think we know so well surprise us like this in new ways. Each of those spaces combines the familiar and the unfamiliar, and makes the usual unusual. I personally think that our next design awards need to take place in Brazil.
I'm all for that. I think it would be an amazing experience. But tonight, Cynthia, we've got to finish out the class of 2021. So our final grouping this evening is department stores. Tonight, we're going to go big, quite frankly, with 4 amazing environments. Now, I think sometimes we forget how complicated building a department store can be. Andrew touched upon this a moment ago, but it's a very complicated idea when you think about the brands, the product categories, the experience. Each of them holds their own experience and focus, but yet the design team is responsible for trying to combine and corral all of this into an environment that ultimately celebrates and tames each one to be part of a cohesive whole. So tonight, we're going to take a look at Nelson Worldwide and Macy's combo efforts on a whole new side of an iconic brand, Jeffrey Hutchinson and Associates' innovative architectural experience for Shinsegae in Daejeon, and Nelson Worldwide's and China Duty Free's Fantasy Garden concept in Macau. And one more, Bertophilic's stunning new space for the Hyundai in Seoul, Korea.
Bloomies is a new concept store in a pedestrian-friendly area of Fairfax, Virginia. The 22,000 square foot stores brings the best of Bloomingdale's to a smaller, highly curated format. The Macy's team collaborated with Nelson Worldwide to create a destination centered around top brands and a casual Cuban-inspired cafe. An adaptable floor plan with rotating display carts spotlight trending product lines. Layout and flow were optimized to feature new merchandise drops occurring multiple times per week. Couches and lounge chairs, thoughtfully located, give customers a place to relax while they shop. Technology implemented throughout the store simplifies shopping for customers. The black, white, and gray checkerboard exterior recalls the 59th Street flagship in New York City. Judges called out the team's exuberant palette of materials and creative merchandising solutions. This project receives an Innovation Award for Concept Design. Shinsegae is one of South Korea's largest department store retailers. For its mixed-use complex location in Daejeon, the company worked with Jeffrey Hutchinson and Associates to design its luxury departments on the first and second floors. The 62,500 square foot first floor houses European luxury accessories and jewelry labels, as well as more than 40 beauty brands. The team reinterpreted classic design elements to create a grand hall inspired by early modernist Italian architects. Vaulted ceilings and decorative light pendants highlight the circulation paths. The 57,000 square foot second floor showcases luxury fashion brands. The women's space includes hand-plaster sculptural elements on walls, ceilings, and exaggerated columns to provide an intimate yet inviting shopping experience. A sculptural contemporary environment was created for the men's area. Wood walls and dimensional ceilings suggest a masculine attitude, while the marble floor emphasizes asymmetrical patterns of the space. Judges found every department well-branded and well-lighted. This project receives an Innovation Award for Architecture. China Duty Free Group is the country's leading duty-free retailer with more than 200 shops across China. Its new store occupies more than 80,000 square feet, and its surrealist design echoes the Grand Lisboa Palace's Fantasy Garden theme. Designed to invoke splendor and luxury, the Nelson Worldwide team's dreamy modern space delivers an ultra-contemporary shopping experience for post-pandemic mainland tourists. The shop boasts a 2,400 square foot VIP area, its first member lounge in Hong Kong and Macau. Judges found the space elegant and open, with plenty of visual interest, including materials and finishes that set each space apart. The Hyundai opened a new 102,000 square foot department store in Seoul. They called on Bertafilic to handle interior design of the multi-story location. Veering away from global retail trends, the store was designed to be approachable while providing visionary design elements that are inspirational and aspirational. At the entrance atrium, a 40-foot-tall sculptural waterfall greets customers with the sound of cascading water. A skylight extends through the building core and bathes the space in natural light. Each floor speaks its own design language through architecture, custom fixturing, furnishings, surfacing materials, and display elements, all tailored to the merchandise and lifestyle trends of its intended customer. The second floor offers a gallery-like space to meander and explore women's fashion. The lighting plan, combined with subdued color palette, underscores the sophisticated atmosphere. On the third level, the design team contrasted natural and man-made materials, unfinished ceiling, custom-built vacuum-formed sculptural walls, and a simple color palette to speak directly to the featured brands. The judges found the space stunning, adding, "This is a great on-trend space. There are plenty of merchandising showstoppers here."
All right, well, Cynthia, that is the last of our winners for the class of 2021.
Wow. Some amazing retail projects, can I say?
I mean, it's a huge variety of environments spread across continents, urban, suburban markets, and all with amazing characteristics that define their brands. So the question I'm sure everybody's out there asking now is, well, who's going to go home with the ultimate prize tonight?
Right. I think it's time to share our Store of the Year winner.
All right. Well, so every year, the Retail Design Institute shares one project that the judges feel is the best of the best. This spans all the categories or groupings that we've talked about this evening, and the Store of the Year is recognized for powerfully meeting its mark. It's a store that best defines, in the judges' eyes, a tremendous success across all their key criteria. It's a store that contributes something new to the practice while moving a brand forward. And the Store of the Year is drawn from the slate of projects that we just saw. So, Cynthia, are you ready to share?
I'm ready to share. Are all of you ready to hear? Yes. The Store of the Year is...
One of the biggest issues with the street concept is that we're in the middle of a bustling airport in Terminal 4 at JFK, and we had design restriction of having a wide open storefront. So to create a calming space in the middle of an airport with a wide open storefront was quite the challenge. They really just wanted to create this all-new take on travel, health, and wellness services all in one space to create something that was very immersive and engaged all five senses. So we ended up breaking the space into 4 areas. We had retail space, health space, wellness space, and back of house. To create that fully immersive experience that we were going for, not only did we address the acoustics with the acoustic plaster and sound absorptive materials, but we also incorporated a music system as well as adjustable, customizable lighting. And we also incorporated HVAC scent diffusers so that the whole space really has a scent when you walk in. The challenges that we went through, this being in the middle of peak COVID times, I think it's a perfect example of how design can really help lead and drive business forward, and why it's so important to bring design in at the front end of a development process. Treat truly is a holistic travel, health, and wellness concept with an omni-channel approach. It provides respite from the chaos of the airport as customers make their way to their final destination.
What an awesome project. Like, hello. I mean, that project continues to shift the dialogue on what keeps retail relevant. And honestly, you have to experience this for yourselves in person. If any of you are flying out of JFK, I believe it's in Terminal 4? 4, Terminal 4, and to think that this concept was born out of the challenge of the last 2 years when, you know, not only was this industry facing the impact of a global pandemic, but airports were facing the impact of a global pandemic. So congratulations to the entire team at Express Spa and Design Well Spent for their work on this amazing project. Your work is truly fabulous. I know I plan to go through it. And can I please welcome Toby Ray from Design Well Spent up to the stage to accept her award. And it's very heavy.
Oh my gosh, it is heavy.
If you'd like to say something, Toby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really blown away. This is the biggest honor I can imagine, and I just want to say thank you to the Retail Design Institute. I'm the chapter vice president of the Pacific Northwest chapter, and so I love this organization, and it's done a lot for me in my business. So it means a lot. It also means a lot because I actually started my company, Design Well Spent, right before the pandemic. I opened in January 2020, and the pandemic hit. And I had projects going, and obviously those dropped off, and I was really scared about what that meant and what was going to happen. Express Spa Group reached out to me, and I'm really honored. Doug Satzman, who was the CEO at the time, is here with me. Put his trust in me in 2021, at the beginning of 2021, to work on this amazing concept. And I was literally on my own. It was just me in the business by myself, single person design company. And what this concept did for me was it made me realize, one, I really needed a team, and I couldn't keep doing it on my own. But it also gave me the capital to start hiring, and we're now a strong team of 8 out in Seattle. And so this project means a lot to me, and this award means a lot to me because, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and really the formation of my company and made it what it is today. I also want to give a huge shout out to Kelsey Hansen, who is here in the audience, who was a major part of the creative development. This was not just me. The beautiful store would not be what it is without her. Creative vision, branding, merchandising, app development, literally all the things. So she and I worked very closely on this project together, and I couldn't have done it without her. So huge shout out to Kels. And then, like so many said before, we can't do this alone. There was contractors, subcontractors, mill workers, graphic producers, my vendor reps that helped with this. And this was in the middle of the pandemic when we couldn't get anything. And it was such a tight space. I just remember the contractor was all over, like on top of themselves, trying to get all the products in and get it done, and in the middle of an airport with airport security and all of that. So this was a huge effort. It was not just me, but I am honored to accept the award. And I just thank everybody that was involved in this project. And then lastly, I just want to say hi to my team out in Seattle. They're all at CRTKL. They're at the live watch party in Seattle. And this award is for you guys. So I cannot wait to see what we do next. And I love my team. They're the absolute best. And just go Mariners. Yes. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys. This is amazing. Thank you.
Now, what an amazing dialogue, a wonderful group of stores, and an amazing store of the year. We can't thank you all enough for coming here tonight, for listening to us around the globe. And we do want to thank our judges just one more time, because they really gave us everything that we're seeing here tonight. And a wonderful group of people, and what a celebration of retail design. So we are hoping to announce very soon our 2022 competition, and we do look forward to seeing many of you at events, both here in New York and around the country and around the globe, at RDI events, which are now starting to happen again in person. So from Cynthia and myself, we do want to thank our sponsors one more time.
All right.
There we go.
Gold sponsor.
That's right.
Little Diversified Architectural Consulting.
Our silver.
BHDP and Caden
Photography.
Bronze, IA,
Interior Architects.
And of course, we couldn't do what we do without our sponsors who sponsor us regularly through the year. And of course, we could not do this event without Media Place.
Exactly.
Media Place helped us through the pandemic last year to come up with a solution that made us able to bring these awards to you last year virtually. Ray and I sat on this stage with nobody in the audience last year. You were all watching virtually. And we are so happy to be able to have Media Place and the Triad Theater again helping us to bring these awards to you, whether you're here in person in New York or whether you're watching at a watch party or from your couch like my family is right now. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to our sponsors who sponsor us on a regular, Planet Construction and TMS Lighting. We thank you for your support throughout the year.
Exactly.
And from Ray and I, we just want to say good night, New York.
Well, we're here in New York. We're going to start the rest of this event this evening. So enjoy your watch parties, enjoy your home activity, and from New York, we're signing off.
Have a great night, everybody.